Hey everybody, Scott here for the Helix channel. It's Friday. Oh man, another week is over. I've got a gig tonight until about 1:30 in the morning. Probably gonna get home about 2:30. Then I gotta get up at 6:30 to get on a plane to go to Salt Lake City. God damn it. I'm not psyched about it, but I gotta do it. But today, I'm finishing up the Placatin preset with the final snapshot, and it will be the free set for today's Free Set Friday. Woohoo! So, the final one, 80s rock. It is a full-on, just 80s metal, late 80s, if you have to get absolutely technical, metal tone, and great for all kinds of stuff. A good Steve Vai tone, a good Warren DeMartini tone, a good, George Lynch tone. It can do all of those things. Hmm? Let me show you what's up with the final snapshot. 80s rock. That's snapshot number 4. Boosting the gain on the, on the compressor. And that's a good place to start when you're pumping up gain. Ton of drive. I mean, ton for me. And then, with the master set to 7.2, that is a very heavy sound. I'm keeping the fat off on one of the amps. Everything else is turned on, including the saturation, which is important because that's how you get the metal sound out of this amp model. And I'm bumping up the bias and the ripple as well. It makes a difference. It does cool things when you get up to that level of gain. Having the ripple and the bias both up are very cool. I'm not really doing anything with the IR. I've turned off this pitch. I am doing some scooping because the 80s metal sound had a scooped mid-range. So I'm pulling down 6.6 dB on the 750. And I've raised these back up to 0 because I want that top end back. On the 70s rock snapshot, it's got a muted top end, which a lot of the guitars did in that day, in the era, I'm pumping up the reverbs because I'm going for that sort of like Rat lay it down kind of sound. And I love that, the reverb on that. And to make it even more so, what you could do, I've reached the limit of what I can do as far as snapshot enabling. So I can't enable these to be any brighter. But what I can do is I can make these brighter. So a brighter reverb. Let's go even further. Let's go 2.8 on that sucker. And I've adjusted the bottom EQ with even more mid-range pulled out because it's a different sound on the bottom one. The reason being, I've also adjusted the low cut to make it a little bit lower so I get some more bottom end oomph. Pumping up the drive on the bottom one. Not a shit ton. And there's a reason why. The Masters is just so. This one does have the fat on and the saturation on and the similar settings, but the reason why is because this one has an overdrive in front of it. It's got the compulsive drive. So that's giving it a bunch of gain. It's kind of like back in the 80s when a lot of the metal guys used like JCM 800s with, with a tube screamer or a metal, SD1 or OD1 Boss pedal in front of it. Very common practice for a lot of records back then. And some pitch shifting, just to give you a bit of widening of the sound. Would you like to hear it? There you go, everybody. The Placatin preset is finished. Go to my website. There's a link in the description. Go to the free presets page. It'll be on there, and the IR info will be below it. If you hold a little cursor over the IR symbol, the IRs will show up and it'll tell you what's what. What more could you ask for? It's free. It's good. It's awesome. So, have at it. I've been doing some research because I'm going to bring this guitar back to life because it's suffered some hard times in the past year. But I really love the guitar, and I think that, you know, the wood is great on this, but fingerboard not so much. These frets, the fret job was not done very well, and there are some frets that are not in perpendicular, and there's a little crooked, making them really difficult to intonate. And I've got issues with the sides, so I'm gonna remove this fingerboard altogether. I'm gonna buy a new old stock Gibson fingerboard, and I'm thinking a maple one with the white block inlays. I think that would look really cool against the gold. And plus, you don't see maple very often, especially, you know, probably never on one of these. But size it to fit, and then have some jumbo stainless steel frets installed. You may think that's a little far to go for this guitar, but I really love the guitar, and I don't want to give up on it. Plus, I'll have that at that point. I'll have two guitars with stainless steel frets, and those two will be my main guitars because you just cannot beat the feel. So that's what's up with me. This will be, you know, a backup, and I'm probably gonna put the get a 3 Area 58 DiMarzio single coils and turn this thing back into a standard Strat. Good times. So, have a good weekend. I will see you probably not on Monday because I'm flying back on Monday. So, I'll see you on Tuesday at the very latest. And until then, rock on.